Greetings and salutations. I'm Tim with VegasVoiceActor.com. It is Sunday night martini night. Welcome to my booth. And if Sunday night martini night sounds a little weird, here's the martini, by the way. I tried to do Saturday night martini night last night, but my thermostat had other plans, and I had no air conditioning for a good deal of the day yesterday, so it was kind of warm and toasty. So to be quite honest, I didn't quite feel like doing this last night. Long story short, I have a digital thermostat that runs my air conditioning, and it's one of those really cool thermostats that you can run from your phone. Great tool, great toy, love using it, but when it dies, and there is absolutely no way to turn on your air conditioning. And living in the Las Vegas desert as I do, it was only 108 degrees yesterday. So, long story short, I was able to get a repairman out here same day to take care of the thermostat. Profanity may have been involved. I'm not at liberty to discuss. But repairman came out and got it fixed late in the afternoon and ran the AC like crazy to get the house cool and comfortable again. And I'm here now. Sunday night, martini night. That's really all you need to know. Trying to keep things simple, you know. And simplicity is kind of where we're going tonight. When I started doing these videos, they were actually born out of a request I had received from a friend of mine who is a voice actor. And she has a consulting business on the side, and she asked me if I would do a video testimonial for her. And my first instinct is, ooh, I'm going to get the good video camera. I'm going to put it on the tripod. I'm going to make this the most kick-ass video I could possibly make. And then I realized if I was going to do it as a voice actor, which is really what I needed to do, I wanted to do it, shoot it in my booth, and not spill my martini while I do it. But the problem is getting the video camera and the tripod in this little converted closet was not going to work. And after thinking and pondering and pondering and thinking and making it far more difficult than it needed to be, I came into my booth, had my phone with me, and I made this alarming discovery that if I take my phone and very carefully, well, not even very carefully, just place it in the corner of my booth, wedge it into the acoustic foam, it's just about the right level, and I can shoot videos in here. Now, we're not talking, production quality here. We're not talking something that's going to be broadcast on network television or anything like that. But to do testimonial videos, to do YouTube videos, to do fun videos like this, all you need is your little selfie iPhone and a place to set it up. I mean, I'm not even using one of those, funky little tripod clip clamp things, Gorilla Pods. Do they still even make those? I see. I know they existed at one time, but I don't even have one because right now I've just got my phone wedged into the corner of my booth. And here we are. How simple is it? And after I figured this out, I was realizing that, wow, I made this way more complicated than I needed to. What is it, Occam's razor, that the simplest solution is usually the correct one. And that was the case here. I had an iPhone that shot video. All I had to do was pop it in the corner of my booth. Boom, we're good to go. Have you ever overthought a voice script before? I'm sure you have. I know I have. Have you ever read it and thought, oh my God, I'm going to put the inflection here, and I'm going to emphasize this word here, and I'm going to speed it up here, and I'm going to slow it down here, to the point that you have taken all the spontaneity out of the script? Now, I'm not opposed to marking up scripts, and certainly if you're in a directed session where you're getting specific instruction from a director, yeah, you want to mark up your script. But as a personal rule myself, I never mark up my script when I'm doing auditions at home for the first couple of times through. I want it to just flow. I'm going to read it a couple of times just to get comfortable with it and understand the tone and the pace and where they're going with it. And, take a look at the specs if needed. And then I just do it. You've got to trust your instincts when you're doing an audition, when you're doing a voice script, especially if you're new. I think when you're first starting out, you maybe get a little obsessed with the idea that there is a right way or a specific way that you should be doing the script, where the only thing you should be worrying about is, are you doing the script correctly for you? Because there are dozens and dozens of ways to interpret a script. And hopefully your interpretation is the one that matches, the idea that the director has in their head. Are you that voice in their head? Obsessing over which word you're going to emphasize, putting the emphasis on the right or wrong syllable, as the case may be. When you do that, when you overthink it, when you don't keep it simple, that's when you start to run into trouble. Trust your instincts. Keep your spontaneity. Okay? If you are in a directed session and the director says, no, I don't want it this way, I want it this way, then great. Mark it up, make that note, and do it that way. But we should never be overthinking scripts. One of the things I struggle with, I think this is kind of funny, on Friday, most of the work that I do is corporate explainer videos, e-learning, pretty basic narrative kind of stuff. I don't do a lot of character work. Well, Friday afternoon, I had a run of auditions where I was doing character voices, and I counted it up. And on social media, I think I had posted that I had done 11 character voices over the course of the afternoon. It actually ended up being 12. And the thing I find about character voices, when I'm in character and I have my martini with me and I'm enjoying it and it's quite delicious, you should try one, I'm not thinking about how to read the particular script. I'm not concerned about where to put the emphasis and all that. It just kind of flows because there's a point where the character kind of takes over and the character decides how they're going to say it. It's you, but it's not you. Does that make sense? So when I'm talking like this is how this character talks, and he loves his martini and he loves to share it with you, and he's going to have a little sip right now. I find it's easier to keep it simple when I'm working with a very broad character with a strange voice. Sometimes I find that's easier to work with than being me and doing that straight read, that straight narrative read or corporate read. So to get past that, my simple solution to that is my corporate narrator voice, my e-learning voice, also becomes a character. It's still an extension of me. It's e-learning Tim, it's corporate Tim. But when I think of it in terms of another character, suddenly I'm not obsessing about how I'm reading the script because e-learning Tim knows how to read that script, and he reads it in his e-learning instructive, very easy to follow along with pace. Simplicity. We obsess too much on the little details when what you really need to do is just flow. Just take a look at the script, get familiar enough with it that you can do the audition, do a few takes, trust your instincts, don't obsess on it, and I think you'll be very pleased with the results. By the way, making this martini is very simple too. 3 ounces of vodka, a splash of olive juice, a little tiny bit of dry vermouth, 3 olives, boom, you are done. If you want to know more about me, of course, keep an eye at vegasvoiceactor.com. You can see all the stuff that I do. You can follow me on social media. If you search out Vegas Voice Actor on Twitter and on Facebook and on Instagram, you will find me there. Look for Timothy Callaway on LinkedIn. You will find me there, or just go to the website and watch out that you don't hit the easel that's right in front of you with your light on it, or else it'll look really, really awful when you do it, and you'll look unprofessional. And, you know, like having a martini in the booth isn't unprofessional enough, but hey, my show. Let's have fun. Have a great week. We'll see you next time.